What's up, beautiful people? It's Kayla. I'm back again with another video, so I'm gonna get straight into it. These are gonna be the essential supplies that you'll be needing for this first step, which will be bleaching your hair. The hair that I did use is from HairSoFab, and I'm gonna just let y'all know this is some of the best hair I've ever used, but we'll get into that in a later video. But yeah, so I went ahead and sectioned off the hair from the closure and the bundles just to make it easier for me to bleach. So the bleach that I did use is the Loreal Quick Blue Bleach, which is bomb. And I also use these booster drops from Ion, which are perfect. They are like a dupe to Olaplex, and they leave the hair just soft and not dry at all after bleaching, which is a plus. So I went ahead and emptied out that bleach into an empty container. I honestly could have just emptied it out into the bowl itself because I ended up using all of it. So when I bleach, I don't necessarily measure it, I just eyeball it. I just start off with a little bit of developer at a time and then just add on the more I mix. So I kind of look for a consistency like toothpaste, but a little bit more runny, but you get the gist. But yeah, this bleach is very good. I highly suggest using this for darker hair. For some reason, it just works 10 times better than BW2, which I've used in the past, and this is my first time using it, so I'm very pleased. So what I did here was just section off the bottom section into half, and then I put a generous amount of bleach on that hair. And you guys, with bleaching, be generous and take your time. I tried to use the foils here, but it wasn't working how I wanted it to work. So you see, I'm kind of getting frustrated. But yeah, be very generous with bleaching and just take your time because you do not want to miss any pieces of the hair, especially if you're bleaching black hair. Like, it is so annoying. This step is very tedious, but it's worth it, I promise you. I just went ahead and make sure I got that underneath section. I also then went in after this and split the hair in half just to make sure I was getting every piece of hair on this bundle. So after I was done with that, I went ahead and wrapped it up in some foil, and I pretty much did this whole step for the remainder of the rest of the bundles. Okay guys, so here I'm just making sure that I got all of the pieces covered in bleach. Do not mind my head. I look like a milk dud. But anyway, I was just making sure that I got all of the bleach on every piece of hair. Yeah, I'm just making sure because I didn't want to have to go in and necessarily re-bleach it because that can happen and that's super annoying. So after I checked everything, I just put some foil on the top of my mannequin head and let it sit for probably like an additional 30 minutes. And then I went in and washed it out. I know a lot of people use the ISO Plus neutralizing shampoo. I didn't have any on me, unfortunately, but yeah, I just washed out the hair just to make sure that all of that bleach was out, which is very crucial, guys. Make sure y'all do not miss any bleach. So then I just went in with my Eva NYC Main Magic shampoo, and y'all, this shampoo is bomb. Like, even though it is shampoo, it conditions as well. Like, it leaves the hair very soft. So I went in and I shampooed the hair probably about a good 2 or 3 times just to ensure that all of that bleach was out of there, because you do not want to leave any of that bleach in. Even though when water hits it, pretty much stops the processing, but still, you don't want that in there. And I also just made sure I was just very, very delicate with that closure, because it's been through the most damage and the most processing, because I did bleach those knots about 2 times prior to this. So yeah. Then I went in with my little bootleg Denton brush and just made sure there were no tangles or knots in the hair. I did realize once I was brushing it that there were some pieces of the hair that didn't process pretty thoroughly as the other pieces did. So what I did the following day, I just let it air dry, and that morning I bleached those parts and washed it out. I left it in conditioner for 6 hours while I was at work and then washed it out, and we got to coloring. So the colors that I used were 2 whole bottles of Paprika from Adore, a whole bottle of cinnamon, and a whole bottle of Cajun Spice, and a half a bottle of Copper Brown. So I just mixed those into an empty bowl. Just, pretty much I just mixed them all into an empty bowl and just mixed them really good just to make sure everything blended out perfectly. And then in another bowl, I just poured some of that mixture in, and then I added some black semi-permanent hair dye because I wanted my closure, the roots, to be a little bit darker than the rest of my hair. So I just stirred that all together, and then I took my little spoolie, applied it to those roots on the closure. And this is very important because you don't want to get that dye on your closure at all, because it will ruin it and will not look like a scalp at all. So although this was very tedious, it's very, very important. Please excuse my sister for wanting to be in the camera. I don't know what she's doing. But yeah, this part probably took the longest out of everything. But yeah, this probably took me a good 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, it's very well worth it, I promise y'all. After that, I just went ahead and applied a generous amount of that dye on the ends of the hair and just worked my way through. Y'all, please, this is very, very messy. So please have something on the bottom, on the floor. I had about 2 towels underneath me, so it was messed up afterwards. But this is very, very messy. So please make sure you have something underneath the bottom of this when you are doing it. But yeah, I just applied the color all over the hair and just broke up the pieces just to make sure everything was getting thoroughly coated. This method is a little bit longer than the watercolor method, but I honestly prefer it because I feel like with the watercolor method you have to go in multiple times just to make sure it's not pastel, and with this method you can ensure that everything gets fully saturated enough to your liking. So yeah, but also just make sure that you go in between those strands and make sure everything is coated, because there was some parts that were still blonde that I did miss. So this took me a good probably 2 hours to go through thoroughly, but this is what the end result looks like after I was finished with everything. It's very, very nice. Everything is evenly coated and saturated. It just looks really good here. I don't know why that it looks soapy like that on the bottom, but yeah. So yeah, I let that sit for a good 30 minutes, and then I went ahead and washed it out until it ran clear. And then I went in with my Ion After Color Sealer, covered that with it, fully saturated it, let it sit for like a good 10-15 minutes. Put it in a paper bag, let it sit, washed it out, let it air dry overnight, styled, and this is the final result. So yeah guys, this is the final look. I am so in love with this color. It did come out a little bit darker than expected, but I am not mad at it at all, honey. It's just perfect for the fall, and honestly I kind of like it a little bit darker because it makes it a little bit more wearable, so I'm not mad. And y'all, this ring light was not doing it justice at all. I had to take some pictures outside. I'll insert them here, but yes, it was just giving me so much life. But yeah guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do recreate this look, please tag me on any pictures if you take any on Instagram, or if you reenact the video. I would love to see it. So yeah guys, just please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.